Here's to you, Bertha. He was a good dude and my friend. It was a mining accident. Got too close to an unstable rock. He was only 2 days from retirement. He'd been keeping tabs on the state of the so-called Regen Crisis. He wanted to do his part. Like I said, he was a good dude. I told him leave that mining business to the professionals. There were plenty of ways to help out. Stick to hauling cargo. It's what he knows. He argued, moving minerals around isn't going to solve the problem. We need more of it if we want to beat this thing. So he rented a prospector, a ship he had no business flying, and took to the stars. Now he's gone, dead. For real dead. His imprint didn't take like so many others. So here's to you, buddy. I don't know. Maybe he was right. I guess it was time for me to do my part. I began by hooking up with Microtech Resource Drive. They had a line on some materials at a research outpost that could be used for the effort. My C8 was fueled up and ready to go. The weather was clear, so I moseyed out. I arrived on site, and after fiddling with a busted freight elevator, I finally got my cargo up for loading. It didn't take long to realize I'd need to scale up if I had any hope of providing a meaningful impact for the effort. Jamming 8 SCU materials into my C8, I made my way to the drop-off without a hitch. My next stop, however, was a little congested, which gave me time to think about how to improve my operation. If I focused on some commodity hauling, I may be able to afford to rent a ship with a larger cargo hold. That would improve my effectiveness and my delivery payouts. I parked the C8 and sauntered into Regal Luxury Rentals here on Microtech. They said they'd rent me a Constellation Taurus for about $160K a day. Seeing as I just made 100 running what I could stuff into my little C8, I figured a day with the Taurus ought to be mighty kind to my pocketbook, as well as providing much greater assistance to the cause. I took 2 jobs, each to pick up a load of materials for delivery to Microtech or Port Tressler. Each time, I was told there was no cargo waiting for me. Something wasn't adding up. I just spent $160K of my hard-earned credits to help the cause in the name of my dead friend Bertha, and it was looking like I might not even recoup my investment. Microtech rep wasn't too happy to hear I dropped the contracts, but what was I to do? When there's no cargo, there's no cargo. I'd just about thrown in the towel and hit the bar for a drink. Hey buddy, I came here to drink, not for your wizardry. I was searching through the commodities markets looking for a run that might at least let me break even when I got a buzz from Bertha's wife. Turns out he had dropped a load of minerals at the refinery at Shallow Frontier Station before his fatal incident. She said she contacted Kovalex for shipping, but their price was too high and she wasn't going to fork over the last of her dead husband's work to the corpos. I had mentioned that I had rented a cargo hauler and could do it for the cost of fuel. She declined, said I should just take it, being a friend of the family. I told her I was much obliged, but I'd see to it she got her fair share and plotted a course to the station. I was much surprised to find about 100 SAU of corundum, copper, laranite, gold, and other various refined ores waiting for me. I loaded it up, headed back to Port Tressler to see a guy about the resource drive. There was a mix-up with the paperwork after delivering the corundum and copper. I'll have to get that straightened out later, but I heard Green Glade Station was paying top dollar for laranite and barrels, so I shimmied over and made a drop which paid out about 60K. Popped back over to Microtech to scrape another 10K from the gold and other minerals left over. Not quite the return on investment I'd hoped for with this cargo hauler, but we might still have a shot at redemption. Woke up this morning with a message saying they got their I's dotted, their T's crossed regarding my resource drive cargo. Bumped into Remy eating a breakfast burrito, and he confirmed I had a decent payout, plus something special on top for my trouble. I guess we'll see what that means. With that worked out, I decided to continue the effort and signed a contract for another delivery. I had about 4 more hours with my rental and needed to squeeze out as much profit as possible just to break even. I still had about $50K to go. I arrived at the pickup site completely unprepared. The atmosphere was cold and thin. I realized that after exiting the ship. Lungs froze over and my eyeballs began to boil. Retreating to the safety of my large metal coffin, I returned to the port Tressler to invest in a spacesuit suitable for one in this line of work. Not before a stop at the medical center, of course. I'm pretty sure I had ice crystals formed in my lungs. Suit set me back another 800 credits or so, but at least I'll stay alive if my ship springs a leak. Now, back to the mission at hand. I managed to get my cargo loaded with the help of a borrowed ATLS after strategically relocating an abandoned Caterpillar. After delivering this load, I was officially in the black, but only just barely. If you count my jumpsuit and boots I had to leave on Tressler in order to squeeze into this spacesuit, I may have just broke even. So in the end, I suppose my reward was being able to finish my dead friend's work and feel good about myself. But that ain't gonna put burritos in my pocket. So here's to you, Bertha, you crazy son of a bitch. It's time to get to work.